I got problems. Yeah. I know you got problems, know you at the bottom, know you took a loss today. Everybody want bottles, living for a throttle, you just want bottle today. Tell me joy, west side, I've been trying to find it before I go all the way.
This scramble, I'm feeling good. You know, I wish I could talk doodle to these guys, but I can't. But that'll be a next step. I'm about to get out here and get carried, like always. So I just hit the safe shot. Yeah.
Don't you go off now.
I was born in Portales, New Mexico, and the earliest I remember, we moved to Nassau, Washington, which is across the river from Astoria. I went to preschool there, and Jordan went up till 4th grade, and then we ended up moving to Astoria. It was so we could play football because there was no football programs in Nassau. My dad kind of started the youth program in Astoria. My mom kind of signed him up for it, and he took it and ran with it. Jordan, he was just naturally better than anyone around that area growing up, so it was a little tough to be his brother in sports growing up in that time. But it was always fun watching him play. It always sucks to play and be kind of the younger brother, but it was always fun. I was his biggest fan at every event. When he lost, I cried. I was just another young little brother growing up with his older brother, and I always looked up to him as far as a role model for me, and a good one at that, obviously, as successful as he's been.
Tweet.
Don't even need
it. Let's go.
Don't even need.
Let's go. Good putt.
But it was tough. Every corner, I went to high school games, basketball, baseball, football, where fans would chant, "Jordan's better," and you're not as good as him, and just I got it pretty bad from that area. But it was always cool growing up in an area where that town of Astoria kind of embraced me for who I was, good, bad, or otherwise. And it was always cool being Jordan's younger brother growing up and watching him be successful in high school. And I always enjoyed. He liked baseball. Don't know why. That sport sucks. I hated baseball. I hated watching him play it. It was so boring, but he was really good at it, and he'll tell you that he was as good in baseball as he was in football. But I disagree. I think that he gave more effort in baseball.
We lost to a sorry team. They were sorry. I was the score.
Gotta get on the game.
We should have won this game too. What was the score of this game? The year we lost?
Yours? Oh, that's against Westport?
Newport.
Oh, Newport.
That was 2-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. Missed a lot.
Yeah, it was 2-1.
Your junior year.
Championship, that was my junior year. It was
In the championship?
in the championship. Won it my freshman year. In the semis, my sophomore year. Lost in the semis. Junior year. Lost in the championship, and won my senior year.
I think he could have been a college basketball player, college football player, college baseball, whatever he wanted to do, he could have been if he put time and effort into it. For me, I always liked basketball because that was the sport I was better than him at, because I put more time and effort into it. So I think it's tough. I think the small town aspect helped him in a way where he was a big fish in a small pond. So he knew what it was like to be the star of the town, but he also had his times where we're just gonna, his family's gonna keep him down. We're not gonna let you get too big-headed. And when he went out there and he didn't get the offers that he wanted, he was like, okay, well, I just need to work that much harder because I want that feeling of being the big fish, you know what I mean? And I just think that being from a small town helped him with the mindset of he can be that guy wherever he goes, because it wasn't a small town to us. Growing up, it was just our home, and he was the guy. He was the guy in any place that we went to. People knew who he was. The 6A kids knew who he was, and it helped him as far as, you know what, I got what it takes to compete with these guys. I'm better than these guys, and it gave him that mindset he could be better than guys. And It also kept him held down when he didn't get the scholarship offers. He always had that chip on his shoulder, and that came from I don't know I don't know where the want to have a chip on his shoulder came from. It was there at an early age, and now he finds reasons to have that chip, and I don't know where that came from. Probably just his lifelong not getting drafted where he wanted to be, and but now he wants to be the underdog and wants to have that chip, and he'll find whatever. He probably saw like 8 tweets this offseason from burner accounts saying that he was too old to get another contract, and he took that, and now that's his, like, I'm not too old, like that's his mindset going into it, and that's why he wanted to be here. So I'm proud of him for it. It probably got him to where he's at now, and that chip is probably crazy for him every year.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jordan Poyer here, number 14 for your Oregon State Beavers cornerback. Welcome to the first annual Jordan Poyer Show on KEZI Channel 9. Today I have a very special guest with me right here from Oklahoma, Ty Zimmerman, our sophomore safety. Ty, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine in Corvallis. It's a lovely sunny day.
We gonna walk in the weight room. We're gonna walk in the weight room. We're gonna talk to some hoopers right here. These are some of our hoopers right here.
As a young guy, I was dead set on him going to Oregon State. I was an Oregon State fan, and so like, obviously I would have supported him wherever he went. I was still a kid. I was 14 years old, and I was like, I want my brother to play for Oregon State and this and that. And I think that the offers not coming in was disrespectful just due to how good he was. And I think that's how we felt. That's why baseball was an option as long as it was. But I always wanted it to be Oregon State, and I didn't care if it was a walk-on, a gray shirt, a red shirt. I really didn't give a damn. I thought that he was going to be good no matter where he went. And people always, when I was younger, people always wanted to tell me, no, that's not possible, no, this. I didn't care where he went. I knew that he was going to be successful no matter where he went. That was just my mindset. To me, looking up to him as a young kid, that was Superman. And to this day, I'll never call him Superman to his face, but like as a younger brother, you look up to that, and like that's the standard. So away from him, I'm always the proudest brother. I'm gonna talk him up. Even when he was playing for the Browns, I was like, they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. I always talk him up away from people, but to him, and I said this a while ago, to him, when I'm watching him, it feels like I'm watching him play in high school. It's the same. And so to him, I'm gonna keep him as grounded as possible. I feel like that's my role in his life. I feel like me and him are gonna go home and talk about the game. Me and him are gonna go back to his crib and watch film. I'll watch film with him. I was very excited that he was playing for the pros, and I'm very excited that he's an all-pro first team and should have been many times. Should have been a Pro Bowler many times, but I'm very proud of the accomplishments that he's made. But I'm still going to be his younger brother that keeps him held down and talks crap to him all the time, and kind of keeps him level-headed. The whole goal was for him to show the type of player that he was, and he wasn't getting that opportunity in Philly. He got cut, and I know for him that was probably a scary time, even though it was just a day. He came into the NFL kind of as a really good nickel corner, which he was that in college, and I just think that nickel corner in college is a strong safety in the NFL. That's how I felt, at least. He didn't get the opportunities that I thought he should have got because Deshaun Gibson and Dante Whitner was there, which were good mentors for Jordan as far as transitioning to safety, but I thought he could have played a lot earlier. Maybe that's just the brother in me. I was a Browns fan. I thought every year they brought in a team that probably could have been better than they were. In the end, I'm just happy that he made that transition there from corner to safety, and that's worked out for him.
Yes. You think it's for you? Sure, no story. Be there. Sounds good.
It was kind of one of those
idea of.
Colquitt from out of his own end zone again. Stutter step comes back near side left. 45. He's got the sideline if they get a block, and they did. And it was a blindside block on Poyer. And to be honest with you, it was frightening. And Poyer is down without his helmet on and in
so
a lot of
me
pain.
and my dad, I believe, were at Bubba's, which is at hometown. I was still in Astoria at the time, and we saw the hit. I saw the hit, and I said, Jordan's gonna be hurt after that hit. I said it right after he got hit. I said, Jordan's gonna be hurt after that hit. And my dad was like, what? He didn't get hit? And I was like, yeah, watch the replay. And he ended up getting hit, and my dad was making phone calls and running around rushing, and kind of time slows down when someone you care about is hurting, and I knew he was hurting. So I messaged Jordan, I asked him if he was all right, just kind of waited for that response. But it was a long day. It was a long day not knowing what was going on. We had to wait for Tony to Rachel's dad to message us what was going on because he was at the game at the time. In the end, he says this all the time, he was able to be there for the birth of his daughter, which is little things that you can take out of a bad situation to make it better. Obviously, it wasn't ideal because he was having his best year of his career so far, but God's always got a plan for you, right?
How we doing? I'm good.
I've always been like the type of guy that I want him to stay. He was already a starter on Cleveland, so I think I didn't care where he went. I wanted him to go somewhere he was going to play, but I knew that he was going to play in Cleveland, so I think I was vocal about, oh, well, you're going to play in Cleveland, and this. I didn't know that him and Babbage were close, and Babbage went to Buffalo, and when Jordan messaged me, I remember the day he messaged me. He messaged me Mafia. It's like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know anything about Buffalo. I don't know what that means. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be on Buffalo, this and that. He was on a flight to go do his interview. I was excited for him. He was gonna play. To me, wherever he signed, I thought that he would have played, and I was just happy that he got an opportunity to come show what he had. And he made the most of it. And that was a good day. That was a good day for me because he was unaware of where his future stood, and I've always been more comfortable when Jordan was comfortable. So once he got word that he was going to be on Buffalo, I was excited for him. I didn't notice it till late. Rachel probably noticed it earlier than I did, but I always just thought that when he went out, he just wanted to be the life of the party, and then when he drank after, like, we would go work out and then have a beer or take a shot. I had never thought anything of it. I was still 24, so I was kind of in like the prime ages of me going out and having fun, and so like maybe that's probably a big part of me not noticing it for a long time. And then so one day I came back to the house, and I can't remember where I was at. I might have been working out because I was late to working out one day, and I just went on my own. And I came back to the house, and Jordan was like sick, and I thought that it was something that wasn't alcohol. And I went up to his room, and he couldn't really move. He asked me if I could take care of Aaliyah when she wakes up. She was down for her nap. I said, yeah, that's fine. And so I left. Aaliyah woke up, came back, and Jordan still, like, I thought he would have been good by then, and he kind of still couldn't get out of bed. And I was asking him if he was all right, and he was like, yeah, I drank something bad, or I can't remember exactly what he said. I still had no idea at the time what it was. And then I took Aaliyah, and then I came back about 30 minutes later, and Jordan still couldn't move. And I was like, this is not gonna fly. Like, I know Rachel's gonna be home soon, and if he was drinking the wine, I think he maybe uttered, I had some bad wine or something like that. I knew that I didn't want to be there for that argument. And so I went and turned the shower on. I don't think Jordan remembers this, but I went and turned the shower on and tried to carry him over towards the shower. And I don't know if he got in the shower or whatever. And then I went back out and I was trying to play with Leah while Jordan kind of got right. That's where I noticed what was going on, and that he had something that he was dealing with he was answering that call with alcohol, and it was more than just him getting drunk on a Tuesday or whatever it was. There was something internal that he was dealing with that I didn't know what it was, or I didn't even know that he had thoughts of the Houston game. That's what he says. He had the Houston game, and then his marriage wasn't great at the time, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. It had to be a text, because like me and Jordan don't do well in like sentimental conversations most of the time, at that time at least. So I messaged him. I'm like, I'm sorry. I should have been more aware. I should this and that, and like that conversation was hard to have for me. And then listening to him talk about it every time that he talks about him having a problem, listening to him talk, or him having had a problem, every time he brings it up and brings up that day, it brings back all those memories of just, it was a bad time. I hate seeing my brother hurt, and during that time he was hurting quite a bit in his marriage, in his mind, in his heart, and then the hurt that he feels when he talks about not being able to take care of Aaliyah that day. That never crossed my mind until I heard him talk about it the first time. I can imagine how hard it was for him looking back, asking his brother to take care of his daughter when he probably should have. And so that kind of hurts me a little bit, because I don't like seeing my brother in that space, in that mental space of feeling like he let people down, because he'll no matter what he does, he'll never let me down. Jordan has always been the type of guy that he will figure out, or he will have the mentality of what I could have did differently to help someone, to a fault, to a point of anger. He has that of like, what could I have done, and maybe my story could have helped this person. And then he sent me a message. I knew when that, because I messaged him that story, I think, and he had seen it already. And when he had seen it already and we discussed about it, he said that I feel like people could benefit from having somebody that they can go talk to, especially in this space of being a pro athlete, where you're supposed to be Superman, and you're supposed to be everybody's hero, and they're regular human beings like the rest of us. They have problems. They deal with a lot of problems. Even if you look at them and think, well, they're financially stable, well, they shouldn't have problems. Well, that's just not the case. And so Jordan messaged me his post before he put it out, which he does with a lot of his posts. He'll message me like all his Instagram pictures he puts out. What should my quote be? And when he messaged it to me, I read it, and I'm like, this is gonna be life changing for people, because you're a big name athlete. You guys just went through a tough loss in Kansas City, and people are gonna start asking you for help, or asking you, or just saying that maybe your post kind of helped them through a certain situation. And I could see everything that was happening with it. I don't know if Jordan ever meant for it to be that big, but I knew that a pro hasn't really done that before. People have done it with mental health, but nobody's done it with like alcoholism, drug abuse, or whatever it may be. I don't remember an athlete coming out and like putting the type of awareness that he's put on it. And so I was happy for him, because I feel like him helping others with their problems, as far as alcohol abuse or drug abuse or any type of situation that they had going on in their life, when he gets to help those people, it also helps him progress in his sobriety as well. I don't notice it so much until, and I'll go back and watch the highlight on YouTube or something, and then I'll just like pick a fan and watch that fan react to his play. Or like somebody on the sideline, I'll watch how they reacted to that play, and I'll watch it maybe like 2,000-3,000 times. But when I'm watching it live and I'm here, I feel like I'm watching just the field. And so I see Jordan do that, and I get hyped for him. I get hyped with my family that's in the box. But to me, I feel like I'm just watching Jordan's play on the field, and I see how happy he is. And that's dope to me. The crowd is awesome. The people that are in the box that I don't really know is awesome. But like for me, I feel like I'm going to watch like Jordan play, and then I can reflect on it like he probably does. I can reflect on it later when I go back and watch that, and then I can see how one play that Jordan made can make 70,000 people go insane. And I watch that on YouTube. But when I'm at the game, like it's weird to say, but I'm locked into the game. I feel like I'm just watching Jordan play on a microscope or TV or whatever it is. And for 4 years, this is his 5th year in Buffalo. So for 4 years now, there's nobody with his numbers, like across the board. And how that's gone so unnoticed, I'm not sure. He's gotten his All-Pro. He finally got his flowers last year and got an All-Pro. There's also a fine line of like trying to help him understand that he doesn't owe nobody nothing anymore. He doesn't have anything left to prove to anybody else anymore, but like he's always gonna find something. Like I said, he probably went and found 8 comments that said that he was old, and he puts that chip on his shoulder now. I'm not old. I'm gonna come out here and play and be the best safety in the league. I don't care how old you think I am. I can do this you said I could do this for 2 more years. I can do this for 3, 4 more years. And that's why I know that when he's unable to play anymore, when he feels like he can't be the best version of him anymore, he'll just be done. That's how I feel. I don't think that Jordan will go into a season thinking, oh, I'm gonna be middle of the pack. No. When he can't be the best version of him, a top tier safety anymore, I think that he'll be done playing. And that's just the competitiveness inside of him. And he's going to find something to put a chip on his shoulder every single year and just be the best version of himself every single year, in my opinion. And the best version of himself in his prime, which I believe he's still in for a few more years, is the best safety in the NFL. Bro, I love you, first and foremost. I'm proud of you. Everything that you've done up until this point, everything that you're gonna do. I still see a long, successful future for you. And I appreciate you being able to kind of carry this family on your wings and help us grow and get wings of our own. And I'm sorry I've been a pain for so long, and your little brother, but that's my job. So, but I'll always be there to protect you because I'm stronger than you. I'll always be there to help fight your battles. I'll always be there for you and Aaliyah, no matter what, and Rachel. And go Bills.